bringing in Rajdeep Sardesai, a consulting editor, into the conversation. Rajdeep, poll dates announced of all 5 states going into winter elections. What are the highlights? What do you think? The X factor going ahead.
Look, Preeti, as a caveat at the very outset, each state election is very distinct from the other, and many of these state elections will be very distinct from the way the same voters vote in the general elections that will follow in 2024. I think that has to be recognized, that in India now voters vote very differently in state elections and the general elections. If we quickly go state by state, according to me in Telangana, the key factor is what is the extent of the anti-incumbency against KCR's government that has been in power for 10 years, and will that crucially get divided between the Congress and the BJP? If the BJP gets more than 10-12% of the vote share, then it will be a little easier for KCR to breathe easy. If, on the other hand, that anti-incumbency vote is not split but consolidates around the Congress, then it will be a tougher battle. Then we turn to Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, the Congress has very effectively tried to make this election about the state leadership of Bhupesh Baghel and question whether the BJP, on the other hand, has a leader who is acceptable to all the factions in that state. Plus, the fact that on minimum support price, the Congress government there has given farmers perhaps more than in any other state in the country is being used by Bhupesh Baghel to offset the anti-incumbency that's there on the ground. We turn to Rajasthan, where clearly, while Ashok Gehlot has been able to arrest some of the anti-incumbency against the chief minister with a slew of welfare schemes, anti-incumbency against sitting MLAs has been a feature of Rajasthan politics for the last 20 years. History suggests every 5 years government shift. The question is the BJP going to get bogged in by their own leadership battles in Rajasthan, or can they do enough to win Rajasthan historically as well as because of anti-incumbency against sitting MLAs? Turn to Mizoram. The emergence of a new party there suggests that the MNF will not have all its own way. There will be some fallout of the conflict in neighboring Manipur. Is the Congress good enough to capitalize on that is a question mark. Once you have a second regional party, then that complicates things in a small state like Mizoram. I left Madhya Pradesh to the last because in many ways this is perhaps the most significant as well as the largest state going to the polls. Remember, there are 29 Lok Sabha seats in Madhya Pradesh. The BJP had won 28 out of the 29. But in the Vidhan Sabha, the Congress had edged home. And the general sense is a fatigue factor with Shivraj Singh Chauhan's government is sought to be arrested by the BJP by putting up union ministers, MPs, giving a boost in a way to the party cadres. But the Congress seems reasonably confident that the scale of anti-incumbency is such that you won't be able to overcome it overnight. So I think Madhya Pradesh will offer a key. If I were to be a betting man, I would say Chhattisgarh advantage Congress, Rajasthan slight advantage to the BJP, Telangana slight advantage to KCR, Mizoram likely to be a hung assembly. Madhya Pradesh is the 50-50 state with both sides. It'll be the RSS organization and its ability to...
Who gets the slight advantage in Madhya Pradesh, Rajdeep? As per you. Now you're giving it out there, you're sticking your neck out, so say...
No, you see... the fact is that Shivraj Singh Chauhan, much like Ashok Gehlot, has worked very hard in the last 6 months. Series of welfare schemes, cash handouts, the Ladli Behna scheme, all of these aimed at women voters could, in a way, make a difference. But when I look at the map of Madhya Pradesh, it's not just one election, it's 5 elections. You go to the Gwalior-Chambal region, the voting will be very different to Malwa, to Madhya Bharat, to Mahakaushal, to Vindhya Pradesh. So you have a 5-state election in a way. And I think eventually it will be a 15-20 seat gap between the two main parties at best. And in a state of 234, when it comes down to that, it's tough to say. A lot of people on the ground believe that the Congress has a slight edge. But remember, in close contests, barring Madhya Pradesh 2018, to some extent Himachal 2022, the BJP tends to do, has the last mile boot level connectivity. But that's the one where I want to put my hands in my pocket at the moment without betting on either side.
All right, Rajdeep, before I let you go, just one quick question. Interesting, because Rajasthan, the list from the BJP has come in, practically following the template of Madhya Pradesh, sitting 5 MPs being fielded. You have the likes of Mr. Rathore in the hunt, Diya Kumari in the hunt, and probably what we are expecting, the next list will have the likes of Vasundhara Raje Scindia or even Gajendra Shekhawat.
Well, we haven't, we don't know whether Vasundhara Raje is going to actually be fielded or not. That's the big question. If she is, then clearly both in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan, the BJP is leaving open the question of kaun banega Mukhyamantri. What they want is leaders to prove their merit on the ground in a Vidhan Sabha election and use the fact that they are Lok Sabha MPs to create a mahal, an environment that the BJP is in the fight. It also shows that the BJP at some extent knows that these are two tough elections, given anti-incumbency in Madhya Pradesh and factionalism in Rajasthan. So I think the BJP is leaving nothing to chance.
True.
But also the Congress, especially in Madhya Pradesh, got its act together reasonably early, and in Rajasthan too. Ashok Gehlot over the last 6 months has made effective use of the communications systems that were missing for a couple of years when he was almost drawn into
But at this point of time, Rajdeep, the sheer
fighting.
fact that the factionalism, the disaffection between Mr. Pilot and Mr. Gehlot is once again rearing its head.
It is. There will be the Gujjar factor. There is also going to be caste politics, Jat Gujjar factor, OBC factor in Madhya Pradesh will be a key factor in deciding elections. The tribal vote. Look, that's there. But I think what you're going to see, if I were to give you a big picture, this election in these 5 states is heavily localized. And that's really the reason why I said let's not draw any big national picture analogies, but more than ever before, elections will be fought locally, and number of, very interestingly, in both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, in seats where union ministers and MPs are being fielded, there is local disaffection. Those who are hoping for MLA tickets are upset with the BJP. At the same time, within the Congress, those who are with the Pilot camp or in Rajasthan, or indeed with leaders in Madhya Pradesh who feel they aren't getting enough of a say, how will they respond? So you'll have a lot of rebels, independents. In fact, the BJP in Chhattisgarh has tried to prop up some of these independents and rebels. So I think none of these states, at the end of the day, you can say is a done deal.
Well, none of these states is a done deal. The Congress would like to localize this election, but the BJP has the Prime Minister on the ticket. Will they be able to do so? Thanks. Appreciate you joining us, Rajdeep. But Rajdeep practically sticking his neck out on certain states already, even before the campaign.
No, let me say at the end. I said at the very end, I said none of these states are a done deal.
You've said who has the edge.
At the start of the race, at the start of the race, this is the broad picture.
India's #1 political reporter
defines what seems to be happening, vendetta politics. कोई दूध के से धुला हुआ नहीं है.
Unmatched eye, unmatched experience.
The world has changed. My black hair has become grey as well.
And with unmatched passion for the story.
Do not monopolize the conversation.
When it's 100% news that matters. It's News Today with Rajdeep Sardesai. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m. Only on India Today TV.